Hello everyone, Frostcloud here. This isn't exactly a video I wanted to make, but I felt that with the production of my channel at the time being as slow as ever, I felt that I finally owed the percentage of my subscription base who really care about me as a person an explanation of everything that's been happening and how my life has rapidly gone south towards the current month of this year. This is going to be a long video, so sit tight. For those of you who have seen this video I made last December, it's no secret that I hate divorce. However, did you know that I also hate things that contribute to it? The fact that people are legally allowed to have second relationships nowadays is one of those things. I'll further explain why in a little bit. For now, I'll just stick to the main point of this sequence. In September of this year, I had a close friend who I will be keeping anonymous in this video. We were on a routine Skype call, talking about deep personal things since because, close friends at the time. Later into the call, he casually tells me that he had already lost his virginity to someone before he had met his present-day girlfriend when before, I had thought that she was his first girl and that he was clean. Now, just in case any of you are thinking it, no, I am not jealous of him for losing his virginity. I'm not fucking Elliot Rodger up in here. Besides, as some of you know, I'm not even sexually attracted to humans anymore anyway, so there is nothing to be jealous of. I calmly told him that I do not agree with second relationships. Keep in mind, I at no point told him what to do. I was just voicing my opinion formed by everything I have been through in my life. He takes it as me demanding that he stay in a relationship that he didn't want. I explained to him why my philosophy on relationships is the way it is, which I stated I'll get to shortly. After almost an hour of heated conversation, well, mostly from his end, he hangs up on me out of anger, which had never happened to me before. Then a few hours later, he sends me a DM on Discord saying he's done with me. I am now going to be explaining why I do not agree with or support second relationships, along with debunking a few critical popular arguments that this ex-friend of mine used, and that some relatives may try to use. The reason why I do not agree with second relationships is because they are contributing to a problem. What is said problem? Divorce still being legal. It's been a problem since the late 60s. Over the span of multiple eras, hundreds of thousands of children and youth far and near have had to endure this same ordeal. Because divorce has been legal for this long, second relationships are allowed, thus adding to the problem. The more popular second relationships get, the more that people like me are treated like we don't exist, and like we should just get over it. Now, here are a few critical arguments people who do support and defend divorce and second relationships often use. From people in general. But Frost, they're actually happy together, so it doesn't matter. You fucking hypocrite. We were actually happy when our parents were together, but when one of or both of the parents initiated the divorce and very commonly got a second relationship afterwards, suddenly our happiness doesn't matter. In other words, why should I be inclined to care about your feelings when you don't care about mine? From family and relatives. But Frost, being a child of divorce is only as bad as you make it. You do realize the same argument can be used towards you, right? Your first relationship is only as bad as you make it. You could have worked things out and persevered. Instead, you gave up and hurt your children deeply, leaving them without normal families to come home to. This argument is basically another way of saying, get over it, which is one of the most insensitive things you can say to someone. If anyone has the audacity to say something like this, go to hell. From family and relatives. But Frost, it was meant to be, so why are you criticizing it? Wow. This one's a laugh. Divorce is wrong. It has a negative effect on people, mainly the children involved. I guess according to people like this, all you need to do to be exempt from being called out, or, oh no, being faced with the slightest differing opinion on the matter, is say, it was meant to be. So by that logic, if anyone is doing something immoral or wrong, like pedophilia, bestiality, the kind that's in real life, not the fictional kind, incest, or anything wrong really, all they need to do is say, "It was meant to be, sweetheart," from people in general. But Frost, even after it all, they still love you. No. No, they don't. Calming down and getting serious again here. That is bullshit. You do not love someone, especially your children, and put them through something like this. Nuff said. And lastly, from people in general, but Frost, if people just want to get a divorce, why not just let them? What's so wrong about it, really? Even though I already stated why it's wrong a minute ago, regardless, that's a fair point, and I'll tell you why in a more in-depth way. Divorce, especially where a couple has children, is wrong and unethical because it has a negative effect on the lives of the children and everyone else involved. Whilst I'm debunking this last argument, I might as well share something that has something to do with this. Even for couples without children, getting a divorce is still not good. I consider it to be just an extremely gray area. In other words, at least not as many people were affected and hurt by it. Bottom line, if divorce did not affect people in any negative way whatsoever, and no one were to lose anything as a result, I don't think this video, nor the events leading up to it, would have ever happened. But divorce has a negative effect on people's lives, and that's where I have a problem with it along with anything that contributes to it. The YouTuber The Bear is Lazy used to be my best friend, to a point where we would call each other brothers sometimes. However, he is also the one who was friends with and introduced me to that first anonymous friend that left me. As a result of that event, he sends me this DM. I recommend pausing the video to read these DMs if you so wish to. After that, he doesn't speak to me for months, even when I occasionally send him these kinds of DMs. After waiting and waiting, it happens. My best friend was gone. I now have no one to go to the next BronyCon with, and worst of all, neither him or any of his friends who heard about the falling out even bothered to hear my side of the story. 'Cause to people like them, I'm just a retarded little boy who can't handle people's lives being ruined by people like this. You know what's sad? This ex-friend of mine told me that he was a child of divorce too, but now that I remember that in hindsight, he is literally a dark reflection of myself. He is now everything I feared of becoming due to my dad obviously also being in a second relationship. As I explained before, he had already lost his virginity to someone before meeting his present-day girlfriend. My dad obviously did the exact same thing, and I don't want to be anything like him in that regard. And this fucking scumbag of a human actually expected me to just take it and continue to be friends with the reflection of everything I've sworn to never become ever since my parents' divorce. As I am on the last sequence talking about him, there is something else he has also done. But FNG already did a pretty good job exposing him for the following thing. Please go watch this video by him after this one. And to think I actually defended him against FNGR. Dear Princess Celestia, in the past few months, I've learned to avoid all people, including relatives in second relationships like AIDS. I will continue to warn people to do the same so that they do not have to endure the same pain I've been subjected to. People like this are just like my dad. I'm sorry I was too stupid to see that before. They lure impressionable people looking for love or friendship in, give them fake kindness and affection, then shit you back out once you say the slightest negative thing about their oh-so-perfect second relationship that is contributing to divorce still being legal. Before this explosive video comes to a close, there are some things I want to say. To The Bear is Lazy, the reason why I didn't keep you anonymous just like the other ex-friend is because I want to do one last special thing for you. Everyone, please go check out his channel. He makes jaw-droppingly amazing Transformers stop-motion videos. Talent like this cannot be ignored. So please, at least take a moment out of your day to give him the time of day. And do not attack him. The Bear is Lazy. I'm sorry our friendship of nearly 3 years had to end over this bullshit. You were there for me during my awful school days and other trying times, and you were overall a true friend to me. I'll never forget you. Thank you. To my anonymous ex-friend, you know what you've done. Rotten hell, you piece of shit. As for me, other than this taking a toll on me greatly, thus greatly affecting the production on my channel, this year, with the exception of BronyCon of course, this year has been just awful. First the Toon Critic situation, then Abraham Folks' channel disappears, then me and my mom get in a major accident on the way back from BronyCon that had me thinking she was dead for a moment. Then I went through a scary surgery followed by an awful recovering process, and then this had to happen. I was also let go from my job a few days ago. Also, I've stopped going to therapy. There's just no point to it. What is friendship? What is life? To my remaining fans, I'm sorry you all had to hear all this. And to the possible parent of divorce who hates me, go ahead. Leave your pathetic comments. Leave a dislike. It will not bother me. And I mean that. I will not disable the like to dislike ratio, and I will not delete your comments. I will leave them up for children of divorce to rightfully point and laugh at you. On one positive note, I did get a better monitor with beautiful resolution, and I will be purchasing a more powerful PC in January so that editing my videos in VideoPad doesn't take 7 times the time than it needs to. My name is FrostCloud, not Michael, not Mike, just FrostCloud. Thank you for your patience.